Okay, it looks like we got the camera running, the USB running, and the screen record all running. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens of all, zombies of all ages. Welcome to Ross Recording Studios. Today we are going to be doing. Oh, there's R2D2. Today we are going to be doing Ain't Talking About Love with the Positive Grid Bias FX, Positive Grid Bias Amp, and it is totally cool. So, first we have to turn it off. So first what I did with the amp is we have to turn it off. Hello, testing. Lot of nothing going on here. Bias amp 2. And I've already got the preset in, but how did I get that preset? So we went to the tone cloud, and they have 100 amp match presets right from the Positive Grid team. Sort of like if you buy a Kemper amp. Kemper has all the Marshalls, the Twins, Fenders, Twins. They got every amp in there, and they got the Kemper team make the official tones. That's the same here. So what I did is went to heavy metal, because Eddie Van Halen is heavy metal. And as you can see, this uses name brand equipment. Marshall. There's a JCM Marshall amp. Mesa Boogie. Triple Rectifier 3. Another Mesa Boogie. There's a lot. I don't know every amplifier that's out there. So there's a lot of amplifiers here I've never heard of. But it does not look like the Van Halen one is here. The Marshall, Randall. Oh, I'm sorry, there it is. The Eddie Van Halen VH5150 channel amp. Now back when Ain't Talking About Love was written, I don't know if I said that right, there was no 5150 EVH model that hadn't been invented yet. So what you do is you download it, and I've already done that. I'll do it again, can't hurt. Put it in the custom category, and I will call it, oh, it's going to be in the custom. It'll ask me to name it here. So now you go back out of it. And that's the one I already have. So let's see, where's the one I just put in? That would be number 9. And then we can compare it to the one that I modified already. We'll go up here, we click it, and it's the amp. We'll turn the volume back down so we don't hear the amp running. The gain. Now this is so cool that you go into the amp mode, and there's all your tubes. You can change it from standard. This is how it's gonna how it is. Eddie has it set up, and then if you want to really make it crunch, that changes it. I see I'm going to have to get a separate USB for the mic so these aren't cross-talking. Turn it off for now so we can hear. I want to change the these are the tubes. You can change the tubes just by clicking on them. Same with the transformers. Go over to transformer. There it is there. Got the fat style automatically, or you can go to the British style. It changes it. Or you can click on it and change it. And then they have all these buttons you can mess around with, from inputs, attacks, release, compression. You want to change the speakers that this amp is currently running at, because it does also not just amps, it also has the cabinet so you can listen to it. Even though I try to do a little bit more of the cabinets and speakers in Bias FX than Bias Amp, it's, you still have to get it where you kind of want it. So I've got the Celestian Green 25s. I still need to upgrade my package so I can get all the speakers. So again, there's your transformer. In the transformer, you can also, you got a tube you can change out, in and out. Tone stack. So that's how I got the sound, and then I click over here. This is the amp all ready to go. Let's see what do I have in there. I've got it on the insane mode. I've changed out the transformer to the green one. I just see to have a more Ain't Talking About Love sound than the other fatback. I did not mess with the preamp on this particular setting. I liked it as it was. Tone stack, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% familiar with exactly what tone stack means. If they're talking about, it's just like a distortion pedal. So we're gonna leave tone stack out for me messing with it. I'm gonna leave it as it's set, and that's something to look forward to in the future. And the way it actually looks is the cabinet is not dominant on the line, so I'm not sure, what I got here, to be honest with you, as far as the cabinet, because like I said, I do that in FX. So let's say that's set, and the way you get that into positive bias FX, you just save it. I saved it as new. And I learned the hard way to make sure you close Bias Amp out before you open up Bias FX. And you can use Bias FX I'm not even sure if this son of a bitch is recording after all this bullshit. Yeah, I guess it is. Excuse my French. So here's Bias FX. And turn the volume down so we don't get the crosstalk. Input down. Excuse me. It says I get the Fender Twin. So what we would do is we go up here. We load in anything because it's an amp, it's not a sound. So what I have would be bank 1, Ain't Talking About Love. It's already in there, I've already messed with it. So I set that in there, and there's the amp. If the amp wasn't there, you just go over here to your different acoustics, high gain amps, and the amplifier would be where you saved it from Bias Amp. I saved it in custom so it's easy to find. You could save it in the same category it was you picked it from. So there's the custom amps. There's the 5150s. Looks like I've downloaded a couple times. And there's the one for Ain't Talking About Love I messed with. And then I added on a flanger. Ain't Talking About Love has heavy flange. So that was added on. So that's about it. We could spend a lot more time going through this. Oh, there's where I put in the cabinet, the green. That might have came over from bias amps, since it is the green 25s. Added on a distortion box for a little bit more heavier distortion. I need to add on a couple of these effects because I'm using software direct into the recording, so I don't have the luxury of having 4 or 5 Marshall stacks and having them cranked up to full blast. And the reason 5150 was designed is because Eddie just constantly blew out the Marshall amps. They weren't strong enough to be run at the volume he was running on stage, so they had special amps, and finally they made one to be able to keep up with Eddie. And yeah, very cool. And then after we get this set up and going, I will show you the guitar mats.
I stood and looked down. You know I lost a lot of friends there, baby. I got no time to mess around. So if you want to bleed, baby.